Hello everyone. So let's start webinar. Myself Vasanta and today's webinar is about design to collaboration with native cloud apps. And along with me, my co-speaker Achyut is also here.
Hello everyone, we welcome you all for today's webinar. We hope you all are in good health.
Okay, so this is our agenda, introducing with 3D experience and mainly focusing on 3D creator, 3D sculptor, 3D sheet metal creator and 3D mold creator. So let's start with 3D experience. So let us know firstly what is 3D experience. So it is a cloud-based platform that gives you the access to a catalog application which empowers businesses and people to innovate in entirely new ways and create products and services using virtual experiences. So this application allows you to design, simulate, inform and collaborate on a project. So since it is a cloud-based platform, it gives you the opportunity to access from anywhere at any point of time to open, create and modify the components or models. So let us know how cloud platform differs from conventional platform. So as we know that it's a cloud-based platform, it gives it flexibility to work from different location. You might be in your office desktop or from your home laptops. It will give you the instant access to CAD and all of your files. So there is no requirement of installation through desktops or no need of serial numbers. You just log in with your provided credentials. So it allows you to run instantly on any internet connected with devices. So here the models which you have been created will be stored fully online. This is our roadmap of design to collaboration. So in 3D experience, there are few roles which contains apps. So these are few roles like X design, X shape, X sheet metal and X mod. So today we are going to explain about these apps. So let us firstly know about firstly know with X design, which will be explained by Mr. Achyut.
Okay, so before going to about X design, let me quickly shift to the 3D platform environment. So this is the 3D platform environment you can see over here. This is in, and first let us know about the dashboard. Okay, so dashboard is a fully customizable view in 3D experience platform, which allows us to access the roles and also to access the apps by which we can make our models. Okay, so let us know how to create the dashboard. So here at the left corner we can see this is called as the hamburger. When you click on this hamburger, these whatever you can see here, 3D creator, 3D mod creator, these are kinds of existing dashboards are there. So to create new dashboard, we have an icon, plus icon over here. You can see it is saying it as the add dashboard. When I click on the add dashboard, it gives you two options. One is the empty dashboard, another one is the dashboard from template. So in here in the dashboard from template, you have some existing dashboards over here. So by making use of those things, you can create the dashboard, or else you can directly create an empty dashboard giving a name. So let me give the name as a webinar. And in the description as well, description also you can give any of the names. So I am giving it as the 3D experience. Click on the create, so the new dashboard will be created. You can see over here the new dashboard has you can see. So I am just closing the hamburger, and before moving on, let me just briefly describe you about the 3D creator. 3D creator enables us to create, review and evaluate the all types of 3D models, so that it is very easy to use parametric modeling capabilities such as X design. So now 3D creator is a role which contains X design as an app. So let me come back to the 3D experience platform. Now I will show you how to access the 3D access the X design app. Okay, so here at the corner you can see this is called as compass. When I click on the compass, you can see here these are the different roles. You can see over here this is this is representing as my roles. So these are the roles which have been assigned to me or which I am eligible for. So this is the 3D creator role. When I click on this, you can see here this is X design, which is an app. So by getting into the X design environment, we can start our modeling. Okay, so how to how to get into the X design modeling? So X design app. So just drag the X design and drop it over here so that it can access you to the X design environment. So you can see here it is loading. I will just maximize it. You can see here in the XDesign, when I maximize it, you have multiple options like new component. It allows us to create entirely new component, and open. We can open the existing components which we have saved in the 3D experience. And import files is nothing but the importing some of the files from your desktop or any of the other models. So let me quickly open an assembly which we have over here, so that I will show you whatever our assemblies are there, and all those things. So this is the assembly we have to foot and Motoni I'm going to open for. In this assembly, I'm going to show you how this assembly works, how this assembly is made up of, and what are the different kinds of parts, what are the different sub assemblies are there, and also I'm going to explain you which of the component I'm going to create over here. So you can see here here at the C, you can, this is one sub assembly called as VF2 foot, and another one is the top sub assembly Motoni. Okay, when you clearly observe here, these are the two different sub assemblies which have been connected, which are assembled over here. So when you clearly look, when you just look over here, you can see some component is missing, which connects these two sub assemblies. Okay, so I'm quickly create this component so that I can create the new component and insert this back into the assembly. So whatever the component I'm going to create, this one is I have named it as the connector, so that I can make that component and insert back into the assembly. So I'm just minimizing it. I'm again clicking on the compass so that I can access my XDesign role, XDesign app, and I'm taking another XDesign environment so that I can create my new component and insert back into the assembly. Okay, I'm maximizing it so that you can see here when I click on the new component, it accesses me that it asks me to give the name for it. So I'm giving the name as the connector, and it also asking me for the location to specify it. So I'm going it for the webinar location which we have just created as the dashboard, and click OK. Okay, when I click OK, it is asking, it is taking me to the new environment where I can create the model and also save it, and whatever the changes I want to make, I can make to it. So let me quickly just tell you about the connector part, what I'm going to create. So it's just a part of some rectangular part, and having some different, having a few chamfers and circles, and also it has some holes, countersink holes, so that I can connect two sub assemblies in the two sub assemblies by using mates option. So it takes it generally takes some time to open. So in between, meanwhile, that time, let me tell something about 3D experience. So 3D experience is generally, you can say that it is a fully cloud-based parameter. Like it means like it is a cloud-based platform that we will need to have the internet connection to access it. And also we just have to have some credentials. So before, when you enter into the 3D experience platform, it asks you to log in with your credentials. Okay, so in the credentials you will be given an email, an ID and some password. So with those credentials you have to log in, and after login, as you all seen, whatever the components, whatever the roles are there, and whatever the apps are there, we can access to. And also this kind of environment which helps you, and you can access it from anywhere at any point of time, so it doesn't need, as Vasanta told about these things, it does not need any serial number installation or any kind of desktop installation is needed. So it just access you, you can access it from anywhere at any point of time, and even from your models you can specify it. specify it from any point of time, and you can also open it at any point of time. And to quickly review the work or the whatever the models you have created, you can access it from the model. So this is the interface. You can see here this has been opened now. So as of the SolidWorks or as of the any of the as per any of the softwares, like it has some standard planes, the front, right, and the top. So let me just quickly access it from the front plane so that I can draw my rectangular part and save it. Okay, so I'm just entering into the front plane, so that I just click on the front plane, and there you will be having an option called as create or edit the sketch, so that I can enter into the sketch mode in the front plane. Okay, so when I enter the sketch mode, you can see here in this sketch toolbar, sketch option, you can have some different types of tools over there. Line is there, rectangle is there, all types of things are there. So in the rectangle, you can have the 3 center point rectangle, a 3-point corner rectangle. Okay, so I am going to the center rectangle. So I click on the center rectangle, and starting from the origin, I am drawing a rough rectangle over here. And with the help of a sketch dimension tool, I am giving the dimension to my part. Okay, so let me say this is for the 65 mm, and this is for the 25 mm. Okay. This is about the creating the rectangle, and this my part is fully defined, so that now I am eligible to, now I am going to add the material. In the features tab, you have an option called as extrude. Okay, so when you click on it, it asks you to specify the dimension so that you can add the material to it. When you so I'm going to add the material for 40 mm. We can see the 40 mm material have been added, but I want it to be equally distributed on the both the sides of the sketch. So in the direction, I will go with the middle plane, so that the 40 mm will be equally distributed on the both the sides of the sketch. Okay, now I am clicking OK. This is the kind of thing you can create it, and I'm pressing Ctrl 7 so that I can have the perfect isometric view. So moving on, I'm going to give the chamfer to it. You can see here in the features tab, there is a fillet command is there. In the drop down of fillet, there is a chamfer command is there. So when I click on it, there are 3 types of options, and I'm going with the distance to distance, and I'm giving it as the 8 mm distance, 8 mm of distance to it. So it is asking me for the select items to chamfer. So I need to specify the edges where I want to give the chamfer. So these are the 4 edges. I'm going to give the chamfer to it. This one, and last here comes this one. So this is the preview showing that how the chamfer looks like on our component. I'm clicking OK. So this is the component. This is how we can give the chamfer to it. So as you already know that apart from the planes, we can also draw any of the sketch on any of the faces. Okay, so I quickly draw a sketch on the bottom face of it. Okay, so in the bottom face, on the bottom face, I'm entering a sketch. Okay, so I'm selecting a circle over here, and I'm drawing a random circle like this, and giving it the dimension with the help of sketch dimension. So I'm giving the dimension as a 30 mm of diameter, and it is from 30 mm. It is from 30 mm distance from the top of face, and it is undefined, so that I need to give the relation so that my sketch will become fully defined. So just press the control and select the center point of the circle and the origin, so that I can give the vertical relation between them. Yes. So now my component is fully defined, and I'm again going back to the features tab, and in the extrude command, extrude top down, you have an option called as another command called as extrude cut, so that it is asking you how much depth you want to remove the material. I don't want to remove it fully. I want to remove it for the 22 mm of material, so that I will my material will be cut to the 22 mm of depth. So this is how this has been cut. I'm again coming back to my isometric view. So again on the top face, I'm going to create a similar kind of structure what we have just created. So I'm just entering into the sketch mode of the on the front plane, on the top plane, top face, sorry. So I'm again drawing a sketch, drawing a circle like this, and giving the dimension to it about 25 mm. 25 mm, and asking it for the dimension to the same dimension as it is of the 30 mm from the below face. Okay, so again I'm giving the relation between this origin and the center point of the circle as the vertical relation, and I'm going with the rectangle as a corner rectangle, and I will draw some random corner rectangle like this. And with the help of line, I'm drawing a construction line, vertical construction line. So why I am giving the vertical construction line means, so I want to give the symmetric relation between these two vertical lines of the rectangle, so that I can have the equally so that I can have my dimension to be equally distributed on the both the sides. So I am pressing the control, selecting these two vertical lines of the rectangle along with the reference line, so that I can give this symmetric relation. Okay, so when I add the dimension to this line, so when I give it as a 2 mm, so 1 mm will be equally distributed on the both the sides. So this is what I wanted, and apart from that, I want to remove these entities which I don't want. So we have a tool called as trim or extend. So with the help of this trim or extend, we can just click on the entities where you don't want, which you don't want. So I am removing these things. I don't want these entities to be here, so that you can see here I have removed all the entities from here, and now I can remove the material. So this is how my sketch looks like. So I'm going back to the features tab, and I'm selecting the extrude cut, and now I'm selecting it in the direction as the through all both. So through all means whatever the material which comes on the way of that sketch, it will be removed. So I'm clicking OK. You can see here my sketch, the whole material have been removed till the bottom. Okay, I'm pressing Ctrl 7 so that I can have back to the isometric view. So further moving on, we have something. I want to place some countersink holes. So to specify the positions of the countersink holes, right, where those holes will be added. So to specify those things, I have to have some points to specify the hole positions. So to specify the hole positions, I am adding the sketch on this front face. I'm with the help of point tool, I'm giving I'm giving a random 2 points, and the same way I'm adding a vertical line. I'm making it for the construction so that I can add the relation between them. So I'm again selecting the 2 points along with the reference line so that I can give the symmetric relation between those things. So like this, these 2 points I have selected, and along with this center line, so that I can give the symmetric relation between them. And with the help of smart sketch dimension, I can give the dimension as the 45 mm, so that each of the points will be distributed 22.5 from the center line. Okay, and again I'm giving the horizontal relation between these to the origin, so that whatever my holes will be there, those will be specified to the horizontal, those will be horizontal to the origin. So I'm just exiting the sketch. When I click on this accept sketch, it means the sketch will be saved to it. You can see here my sketch has been saved. So moving on, here in the features tab, you have option called as hole. Okay, so when I click on the hole, you can see over here it is asking me for the hole type. So for the hole type, I'm selecting as a straight, and for the standard, I'm going with the metric, and for the hardware type, I'm selecting this screw clearance. So for the size, let me go with the M8 hole, and the dimension will be of 9 mm, and here the hole dimension is of 9 mm, and this is depth is of about through all. And here we can see in near side options, we have the countersink option available. So let me give it for the 14 mm, and the angle is of about 90 degrees. And coming down for the far side options, again I am selecting the countersink and giving the diameter as 14 mm, and the countersink angle is of about 90 degrees. So this is the hole positions of all those things, and now I want to place my hole on my part. So just when I click on the placement tab, it is asking me that the sketch or the entities for hole origin. So in the previous sketch, whatever I have created, this is for this purpose only. So I'm just selecting the hole position, a hole point, so that my whole countersink hole will be positioned over here. So when I click on it, you can see this is the preview, or this is the final product of my, after putting hole, this is the final product. So this is the component I was talking about, and I'm about to insert it. So before that one, here in the standard tab, you have an option to save it. Okay, so when I save it, it will be saved automatically over the cloud, so that now I can insert it back into my assembly. So I'm just minimizing it, and again I'm going back to my assembly, whatever the extrusion assembly over there. See, this is the assembly. Here it was the missing part. So now I'm going to insert the part whatever I have created right now. So here you can see here in the assembly tab, you have an option called as insert an existing component. Okay, so when I click on the insert existing component, it directs me to the whatever the components we have in our step. So we can see over here, this is the component connector what we have seen, what we have created. So I'm just selecting it and clicking OK, so that it takes me to the assembly, and it inserts back my component to it. You can see here this part has been my whatever I have part created, it has been inserted here. So I'm just moving back over here so that I can give the mates to it. So here in the assembly tab, now I'm going to insert this component over in between these two so that I can give the mates to it. So here you have a mate command. So when I click on it, the mate command, it is asking me it asks me to select the entity. So okay, so I am selecting this inside face of my countersink hole to be concentric with the whole of this upper subassembly. So when I click on it, you can see over here it is a concentric relation, and I am clicking on the apply and continue, so that further I can give the another relations. So I am selecting again this face, this hole, and this hole, so that I can again give the concentric relation between them. I am clicking apply and continue, so that final mate I want to give in between this face and this inside face of this assembly, so that my component will be placed over here. I'm clicking apply and continue, and I'm cancelling it. So this is how we can entirely create the new model and insert back into the assembly. So this is it about XDesign. So this is how we can create the XDesign. So this is very simple to create the model and to access and to have the and to insert into the assembly. So this is all about my XDesign app. So to summarize these things, so XDesign offers us parametric feature-based CAD modeling, and which is right, you can access it from your web browser only. And this is something which is very user friendly, and someone, especially for someone who has experience or who has worked on the SolidWorks, he or she can find this 3D experience very much easy and very much similar to SolidWorks. So this one will be very much easy for those people. So this is all about XDesign, and moving on about Xshape. Xshape will be handled by my colleague Vasanta.
Thank you, Achyut. Really, we had a great session with you. So now, before going into Xshape, I would like to mention you one thing. If you have any queries, kindly post in the comment box so that your required answers will be available. And let's enter into our Xshape. So Xshape is an app which is under 3D Sculptor role. So let us know about 3D Sculptor. It enables us to create organic and complex shapes by using subdivision modeling, and Xshape can be used to reshape manually, to change or to modify the models by pushing, pulling, dragging, and rotating the elements. Okay, let's create a model by modifying the theme. So you can see the environment of 3D platform, 3D experience platform. So with the help of the compass, we have certain roles here which are assigned to me, as Achyut have mentioned before. So here you can see the 3D sculptor role, which contains Xshape app. So I'm dragging it over the dashboard, and this is the one way of opening the Xshape, and there is also another way to enter into a role. I'm minimizing it, and I'm opening the XDesign, which has been opened previously. So from here, by clicking X key from the keyboard, we can switch it automatically into Xshape. So these are the roles which are assigned to me. Here you can see the Xshape. I have clicked on Xshape, so you can see the notification of transaction successful, and also you can see here that we are in the environment of Xshape. So here I would like to create a part on the foot, like I'm going to create a part of a foot cover. So from the assembly, you can see the option called insert new component. So here I'm mentioning a name as cover. And if you would like to place at the origin, you can activate it. So I want to place at the origin. So click OK. And you can see the environment. Now go to subdivisions tab. These are the tools which are involved in the subdivision tabs, And these are the subdivision shapes and standard shapes. So here I'm selecting the box which is suitable to my component and placing at the cursor origin. You can see the preview, and here you can see the shapes and sizes. On the top, on the upper face I'm giving 1, and also for the left side I'm giving 1. I'm reducing the part. Here you can see the dialog box, which if you would like to put in the mid, you can activate that, and if you would like to scale up or scale down, you can use this. I would like to scale down, so I'm using it, and as per your requirement you can use it, and click OK. I'm giving it as 50. Okay, so this is a required shape. So for my part, this is the requirement. You can see the preview over here. I'm dragging it towards upwards. So this is called robot, and these are the arrows of the coordinates. You can drag it upward direction and towards downward direction. So now the shape I would like to place it in the mid plane. So I want to make it symmetry. So I'm selecting this plane. You can see the shape. It has been changed. It has been completely changed. Equally has been distributed, and select the edges by holding Control key. And double clicking on the edges, it will be automatically selected with the associated one, and click crease option. That will make the shape flatten. So now this is the shape, it has been formed. Now I'm selecting these edges. So with the help of arrows, I'm dragging it towards this direction. As per my requirement, I'm doing the shape. So whichever shape you would like to do, you can do the shape by dragging, pulling with the arrows, with the robot arrows, and also there is a surface. There is a surface. With that surface also you can drag it. So I'm dragging it towards this direction. You can see the screen. So now since it is in a symmetry, here you can see the changes. It is the changes has you can see it is appearing that it gives you the equal distance between both sides, and here I'm dragging towards inside. I would like to cover it completely. So this is the face which I have selected now. Now you can see the preview. Here I'm going to add a quick align. So with the reference of sketch, the shape will be formed. So this is the shape I have got. So for my shape, I required like this. I'm going to cover it completely. Hope everybody can see, and the shape is appearing, and towards downwards here, and also I'm selecting these points. So I have deactivated the symmetry option, so that individually I can drag it and make the shape. So here you can see some space over here, so that's why I'm selecting that point and dragging it. So here also there is some space. I would like to cover it completely with the food. So with the help of vertices and the faces, I'm pulling the faces. So it has been covered completely. And in the upper portion, I would like to move little downwards. So here, so since it is an irregular shape, you can create as per the requirement of the component. So we can make any kind of shape. So in the subdivision modelings in the X shape. So this is how we have created. I'm exiting from the environment, subdivision environment. So this is the part. This is a component which have been created. Now you can see the preview. And now if you would like to save, you can save it from standard. Here it is the save option. It will be saved automatically to your collaborative space. That means in your cloud platform. Okay, so to conclude this, I'm concluding it. So as you know that this sketch guides for 3D surface geometry, and we have seen that it is automatically switching between conceptual and detailing modeling, and also we are making changes to the product shape without any remodeling, and easily we can share the design data due to cloud-based 3D experience. And also, since it is a cloud-based, it enables immediate access to design files with no additional software installation. So next, quickly jumping into our X sheet metal, which will be explained by Achut.
Thank you, Vasanta. Those were the more knowledgeable information about the X shape. So moving on for the X sheet metal, you can have the X sheet metal. I will show you how to access those X sheet metal and all those things. So I'm clicking my compass. Here you can see an option, role called as 3D sheet metal creator. So here it is X sheet metal. I'm dragging and dropping it into the environment so that I can quickly have the access to the Access Sheet Metal app. Okay, so I'm maximizing it, my Access Sheet Metal platform app, so that you can see I'm just quickly opening a assembly which was created by my colleague Vasanta. So this is assembly, and I'm going to open it. So we can have another sheet metal part to be created over here with the help of a top-down assembly. So the part is being opened. In the meanwhile, the part is being opened. Let me quickly give you some knowledge about X sheet metal. So X sheet metal is it accesses you to have the sheet metal parts and sheet metal whatever you want to. So in a conventional way, how you create the sheet metal, in the similar way, in a similar manner, you can have the X sheet. You can have the sheet metal part over here. So X sheet metal nothing but with just the with the help of internet connection, you can have to be you can create the sheet metal parts. So this is the assembly previously which was created by Vasanta, my colleague. So here you can see the upper assembly part over here. So I'm with the help of sheet metal, I am going to create the cover for it. Okay, so which will cover this upper part from all the four sides. So you can see over here. You can see in the assembly tab we have an option called as insert new component, which was previously explained by Vasanta. So I'm quickly naming it as the X sheet so that it can be named as the X sheet. I don't want to place it at the origin. So I'm just clicking OK, that I don't want to place it at the origin. So when I click on the OK, it takes me to the another environment where I can create my new sheet metal part. Okay, so you can see here my part has been I mean apart from my fresh part, all the other components have been made as a transparent. Okay, so you can see over here in the along with the my assembly name, there is another part name of it which just I have created as the X sheet. This has been under activated mode. So this is how the top-down assembly works in the in this part. So I'm quickly adding the sketch into this face so that I can create my X sheet metal part. Okay, so I am entering into sketch mode of that face with the help of line. I'm randomly drawing the line so that I can have my sketch like this, and I'm covering my part over here like this. I'm drawing a sketch, and here like this, and at last I'm going to close my sketch. Okay, so you can see my sketch has been closed. In the sheet metal tab we have an option, we have a command called as wall. So when I click on the wall, it is asking me to specify the thickness of my sheet metal. So let me say for the thickness of my sheet metal it is of 2 mm, and for the bend radius let me go with the 1 mm, and for the K factor it is of about 0.5. When I click OK, you can see the preview that 2 mm of thickness of sheet metal has been added to my part. So when I click OK to it, you can see the 2 mm thickness of material has been added to it. So moving on, we have another command called as wall on edge. So when I click on it, it is asking me to specify a few edges so that it can add the extra edges to it. So I am specifying this edge and this edge, and I don't want my material to be added on the other side, but I want it to cover on the to cover my part, so that I will click on the reverse direction over here, so that my material and whatever the sheet is there, it is to be added on other side. And I want to go with the 80 mm of distance, so that it can cover my part. And I will quickly click OK, so that like this at the 90 degrees to each other, my sheet has been created. Okay, so another importance or another advantage of using XC sheet metal, you can see that you have an option called as a flatten, so that when I click on the switch to flatten, it will show the whatever the raw sheet metal I require to create this particular shape, we can see over here. Okay, so when I click on it, it will unflatten it. So like this. So like two on the so on the two sides I have covered it. I'm just exiting the sketch so that I can create another one the similar way. So I'm just clicking on the this return to root product, so that I can exit from this particular sketch, and I can add another another sheet metal part to cover these two sides. Okay, so I'm again going to the assembly tab, where I said in the similar way I'm inserting the new component, and I'm again naming it as the X sheet and clicking OK, so that it can it access me to the same environment, we can see. So in the same name, I'm adding the sketch on the this face, so that I can give the my sketch. So in the similar way, what I have created at the first wall. So in the similar way, I'm going to create the another wall for here, another wall over here. So like this, I'm going to cover with the same dimension, with the same commands, and with the same dimensions, and whatever the my previous sheet metal part is there. So in the similar way, I'm going to access it. I'm going to draw my sketch, and lastly I'm going to close my sketch like this. So and with the help of same wall command, I'm going to add the same 2 mm of thickness of material, and bend radius is of about 1 mm, and the K factor is of about 5. When I click OK, you can see my preview of my part. You can see the preview of my part, and I will click OK to it. And you can see there the material is being added to the inside of my part, but I want it for the outside, so that here you have an option called as the middle, bottom and top. So middle means it will be distributed equally on the both sides, and the top means the material will be added on the other side. So I am clicking OK, so that the material will be added like this. So apart from that, I have another face to cover. So I'm quickly making use of this wall on edge, so that I can have the select this edge and this bottom edge, and giving the dimension to cover my sketch. We can see in my part over here, the preview over here. So previously the length is of about 80 mm, and the material thickness is of about 2 mm, so that I have to use 2 mm extra dimension to it, so that it can cover fully. I'm clicking OK. So like this, my part is being created. You can see over here we need some pockets, or we need some cuts to look at to the inside part, so that I'm adding sketch on this surface, and with the help of a circle, I'm drawing a circle over here, so that I can do cuts to it, so that it can access the inside parts. So in the sheet metal, we have another command called as cutout, where we can cut the sheet metal, our sheet metal part like this. Okay, so in a similar way, I'm adding another sketch on this face, and with the help of a 3-point corner rectangle, I am drawing a rectangle, so that my sheet metal part may have some cutout. And with the help of the same cutout command, I am removing the material. I am removing the sheet metal material. So this is how by making use of different kinds of material you can access, and you also know that how to flatten it and how to unflatten it, like this our raw material looks like. And apart from this one, we have another option in the tools tab. We have something command called as save as DXF. So this helps us to convert our sheet metal part into the DXF format file, so that when I click on it, it asking me to save it. So I'm saving it on the desktop. When I click on the save, you can see over here it will save it. which can be used for the production purpose. Okay, so for the production purpose, you all I think generally the DXF file will be used. So this is how this is the another advantage, so that we can convert our sheet metal part into the DXF file. So again, I am clicking on the return to root product command, so that you can see this is the final sheet metal part I have covered to my upper assembly. Okay, so this is how we can make use of our part and create the cutout for it. So this is all about sheet metal. And to summarize the sheet metal, you can see to summarize the sheet metal. So as I already told you, for the production purpose, it gives you access to have the DXF file. So it gives you this sheet metal gives you the production ready sheet metal design centrally from the web browser. So in the online we are giving it. And when we and it also allows us to save the flat state of the sheet metal model what we have created, and also to convert it into the DXF file. And storage purpose, it is fully it is fully online, so the data is very secure in the online. So this is all about X sheet metal. Moving on about X mold, which will be taken over by Vasanta.
Okay. Thank you, Achyut. So last but not least, let's enter into XMold. So it is under 3D Mold Creator, which is an app, which is a role. So what is 3D Mold Creator? So this is which provides dedicated mold tooling design that enables faster, automated, and more robust design of mold code, cavity, and inserts geometry. So let's enter into a 3D platform. So here is an assembly, existing assembly. So here, so for this part, which created previously, the cover for this part itself, I'm going to create a mold, that is core and cavity. So select this part. If you right click, you can see the options, and here there is an option called open. This will be opening a component into another environment. So here, if you would like to save it, you can save this. I want to save this and click on save. So the part is being saved, and it is being saved in cloud platform itself automatically. And here is a new environment of X sheet metal. And now here for mold process, I would like to make the component in a shell body. So before going into a mold, let's make the body into shell process. I want to make it hollow. So for that process, go to features tab. Here you can see the option called shell. Click on it. And here they are asking faces to remove. So I would like to select this face. Here you can see the option called tangent. So I'm selecting this so that it will be selected with the associative faces. And also here they are asking thickness. So I'm giving it 1. And here the directions, if you would like to place it outward direction, you can switch this, and otherwise not required. And here this is the thing I have required, and click OK. So now the part will be created with the process of shell. So here you can see the preview of the component, how it has been changed. So now I'm switching into X mode. As we know that by clicking X key from the keyboard, you can directly and automatically switch into X mode. So here you can see the X mode app. So click on it. So it is being switched into X mode. You can see the notification over here, and also you can see the X mode environment. So we are in the mold features. So in the mold features, these are the tools which are involved in it. So firstly, for the mold process, we are going to start with the pulling direction. Let's create a pulling direction. Here you can see the draft analysis. Since it is an irregular shape, we have done with the subdivision models. We doesn't require any draft analysis, or we don't need to add any draft. So I'm just deactivating it, and here I'm selecting the direction. So I'm selecting this top plane. So it shows the pulling direction towards upward and downward direction, and click OK. So the mold requires towards upward and direction for this component. So my pulling direction has been created, and next coming to the parting line. Click on parting line option. Here automatically the parting line and pulling direction has been selected. You can see that in the parting line there are few edges has been selected, but I required all edges of the component. So I'm selecting one more edge, and you can see the tangent option, which will be selected all the edges which are being associated with the component. And you can see here the edges has been added over here, and click OK. So in the blue color line, with the reference of blue color line, the line has been created. You can see over here, and here you can see the set of surfaces. This we will use for the purpose of closing all the pockets. So here we doesn't have any pockets, so I'm not using this set of surfaces option. So directly I'm jumping into parting surface. Let's create the parting surface. So here also in the parting surface, automatically the parting line has been selected, the pulling direction has also been selected. For the direction, for this component, the perpendicular to pulling direction is suitable for it. Okay, so I'm selecting this perpendicular to pulling direction. So distance, this distance will be mentioned as per your requirement. So I'm giving it 100. So you can see the preview of the parting surface and click OK. So here is a parting surface, and this is for the purpose of to split the core and cavity. Okay, so next option is about tooling split. So before that, I'm going to sketch. Before that, I would like to create a sketch for the purpose of to drag mold core and cavity. So in the sketch tab, you can see the tools over here. For that, I'm selecting this top plane for the reference. New sketch. So here I'm going to add a sketch. I'm selecting this two corner sketch rectangle. Click on it, and I'm giving an appropriate rectangle. So this is enough for me. I'm not giving any parameters. I'm not giving any constraint to make it fully defined, because for core and cavity, I just need one sketch, so that's why I have given one rough sketch. So go to mold features. So click on tooling split option. Here it is asking select sketch profile, and also you can see the notification over here. So I'm selecting the sketch. You can observe the preview over here, and also here in the surfaces, automatically the parting surface has been selected. So you can see the preview, and core and cavity thickness has also been added automatically. And click OK. Here is our mold process. So this is a cavity, and this is a core. You can see over here. So now I would like to move the bodies. I want all these bodies in the individual way. So for that, just go to features tab. Here you can see the option called move body. Click on it and select the body. So firstly, I'm selecting the cavity body. So I want to move it towards upwards, and make sure that your coordinate axis is towards upwards, which is in the y direction. So in the y direction, distance y, here I'm mentioning of about 100. It will directly move towards upwards. So you can see the preview over here, and click OK. In the similar way, same for the core body, towards downwards, I'm going to add the thing. In the same way, select move body. I'm selecting this core body. So in the distance y, so this is towards downwards, so that I'm giving -100. Okay, and click OK. So you can see this. And now for the clear view, I'm hiding this. Just right click on it, and you can see the hide option. I'm just hiding this, and if required, you can hide the parting surface also. So this is how we are going to create the mold core cavity. Okay, this is the main component, and this is a cavity, and this is a core body. So this is how this is the process for mold features. And since to create core and cavity, we are using this method, but generally this is a forming process. For the requirement of core, the punching operations will be used. So finally, to conclude the mold, as we have seen that automatically determines and creating the parting line, shutoff surfaces, and parting surfaces, and also it gives you the accurate molds while reducing engineering costs per jobs, and it is providing tooling quickly quickly and reducing design to manufacturing time. And also the mold geometry updates with design mold changes. So till now we have discussed about all these 4 roles and apps which will be useful for further. And next we are going to discuss about advantages over conventional desktop method, which will be carried out by Achyut.
Thank you, Vasanta. Those were the insightful knowledge about the XMOD. So moving on, the advantages over conventional method. What is the use of using this cloud-based platform? So it allows all the members of the organization to use and to access it from single platform. And this cloud-based platform, the 3D experience allows the non-designers to contribute in the design process. Like whoever have the access to the or the credentials to the 3D platform, they can also join the community and share their ideas. And it is also very easy to create the dashboards and to create the dashboards for their personal use and also for their business use. You can even have the access over it. So other than you, no one can access to it. So like that, you can have the privacies towards it. And it's also storage purpose, and whatever the data and what are the models, or like say that what the data you have created and what are the data you are being you have to store, it will be stored. It is fully online, so that the it is so that you can say that the security of storing the data is very much good. So this is how the cloud-based platform is more advantageous than the conventional desktop method. So we have come to the end of the today's webinar. So whatever the things about the today's webinar, it's like, as you already came to know, that this 3D experience is the cloud-based platform. It allows us to access the platform from anywhere at any point of time. There is no need of any installation. There is no need of any desktop. Even you can access it from your Android phone or the Mac phone, and like that you can access it. And it also allows you to create different types of models, as you already see that accessing the creating the mold parts, creating the sheet metal parts, and creating the normal 3D models. So like that, the different types of models you can create it this. And it also gives you the and it also allows us to switch in between the conceptual modeling and the detail modeling. So this is all about today's webinar. And please stay connected with us. You can all the various platforms. We are also available on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and also in the LinkedIn as well. So these are the links for our company, and we can please stay connected with us. And along with that, one another information, like that we are having we are conducting we are making some series on the 3D experience 3D experience. So till now, whatever for this webinar, whatever you have seen, whatever you have again the knowledge about the XMOD, X sheet metal creator, all those things. So apart from that, to explore more about the 3D experience platform, we have created a series on our official YouTube channel, Logical Solutions. So you can have it, and it is named that they explore the world of 3D experience works. And till now, the volume 1 has been uploaded. You can access it, and please stay tuned and please subscribe our channel so that you can have the further notifications, and you can access the further videos. And apart from 3D experience, there are various knowledgeable and various videos are available on the design, so that you can also have the knowledge about design, and apart from that, and also for the SolidWorks. So please, this is the official, you can see here, this is the our YouTube link, this is the YouTube channel link. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please stay connected with us. So